for a fair and balanced debate about what happened last night. It was a big night for John McCain and for Hillary Clinton as well. Let's talk to Rich Galen, Republican strategist, and Democratic strategist Bob Beckel. They both join us from D.C. Good morning, guys.
Hey, how you doing?
Doing very well. John McCain's got to be feeling good this morning, but Rudy Giuliani, it sounds like, is going to be calling it quits later today. Rich, when was the last time you saw a campaign run this badly?
Well, I'm not sure if it was run this badly. I think the strategy was so desperately flawed that it never had a prayer. I mean, the Giuliani campaign, what they did was kept him out of the conversation for 2 months. The only time he was in the conversation was when he had to go to the hospital in St. Louis. And then to try to kind of pull the curtain back and restart it was just a flawed strategy, and fatally flawed, as it turns out.
Is Bob Beckel, is John McCain, from your judgment, on a one-way train towards the nomination?
Yeah, absolutely. I want to make a point. I said that last July when he was in the pits, because I thought that the competition was eventually going to back up to him. And having said that, I'll give you another prediction on this day. His running mate's going to be Mitt Romney.
Are you kidding?
I'm absolutely certain.
Well, the reason that seems extraordinary,
Romney's going to get a lot. Wait a minute. Romney's going to get a lot of delegates. I know they don't like each other and all that.
They hate each other.
Yeah, and so did Lyndon Johnson and Jack Kennedy, and so did George Bush and Ronald Reagan. Believe me when I tell you this, that stuff has nothing to do with the reality. The reality is, if Romney's got a lot of delegates, and he will, then that, and he's a businessman now, and an economic message. Think about it. I just ask you to think about it.
Hey, Rich,
so
that's a good ticket.
Well, yeah, but does that, using that logic, then Hillary and Obama will be on the ticket as well.
If within 100 delegates or 200 delegates, they could demand it. Whether they demand it or not is another question, but absolutely. Yeah, what are you going to do? Turn down somebody that's got 1,800 delegates in the Democratic Convention and say no if they want it?
But they got to go to the same parties, and they got to be in the same picture and pose for the same paintings. It's never going to work. They don't even shake hands or make eye contact.
That's why I do politics and you do good television. Okay?
Today we've been showing that unfortunate, looks like a snub of Hillary Clinton by Barack Obama at the State of the Union the other night. And, this thing could have been put to rest last night when Chris Wallace said to the former First Lady, was that a snub? But she didn't. She's given this a life of its own. It seems, Bob Beckel, to some, that she might be playing the woman card now.
Well, I don't know as much the woman card, but she's continuing to play the split card. This animosity, this driving the Democratic Party, the leadership to take sides, which I think is, frankly, in the long run, is not all that helpful. But, hey, can I say one thing about George Bush, which I don't say many things positive about him, but the fact that yesterday he talked about his own addiction to alcohol, I thought was tremendous. I'm a recovering alcoholic myself, and it always helps when somebody comes out and talks about it, so congratulations to him.
All right. Rich, let's talk to you a little bit about Barack Obama right now. He does seem to have some momentum going forward, doesn't he, as we approach Super Tuesday next Tuesday?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the Clintons, let me go back to the snub thing. This is another example of Hillary playing not the woman card, but the victim card. She's never so successful as when she's America's victim, and here she's being victimized by a man again. But I think Barack has successfully, especially with the Kennedy endorsement, has turned the corner from being sort of an interesting candidate to maybe take a flyer on to being a serious candidate who, if you pull the lever for him, is a serious vote. And that's very difficult for the Clinton campaign. And going back to what Bob said, this divergence in the Democratic leadership can come back to haunt. It's going to be very difficult, if this goes on much longer, for the Democrats to coalesce around whoever becomes the nominee.
And Bob, as we talk about the debate tonight and what happened yesterday, do you think that the Rudy Giuliani supporters will automatically jump right to John McCain's camp in this case because the candidates were similar in a lot of ways?
Well, I mean, frankly, I don't think there's that many Rudy Giuliani supporters outside of Florida. So
hey, he had him.
It matters all that much.
But he had him.
Well, it only helps McCain. McCain's on a trajectory here. He's going to get the Republican nomination unless something unforeseen happens to him. And it's the Democrats now. We thought that was going to be over early, remember? And the Republicans were going to go on a long time. The Democratic thing can go right through Pennsylvania in April before you know who clearly has the delegates locked down.
All right. Bob Beckel and Rich Galen joining us from our D.C. bureau. Guys, can you split a cab home?
Yeah, we're looking to save money.
If Rich pays, because he got a big tax break, remember?
I did. I'm going to spend it on you, Bob.
I'd spend it now because you're not going to have it for a long time.
Listen to you. All right, guys, thank you very much.
And remember, Bob Beckel has made some news. He says for the first time that I can remember, Mitt is getting together with McCain.
Cool.